Did you ever stop and wonder about the names behind some of the biggest financial institutions in the world? Names that sound familiar, almost like they could be just around the corner? Well, today we're diving into one of those names, Lloyds Bank. And the question we're tackling is a surprisingly common one: is Lloyds Bank a U.S. bank? It's easy to see why this question pops up. In our increasingly globalized world, money moves across borders at lightning speed, and financial institutions often have a significant international presence. You might have seen a Lloyds Bank advertisement online, perhaps while browsing from the United States. Or maybe you've encountered their name in financial news covering global markets. This exposure can understandably lead to the assumption that they might operate within the U.S. banking system. To answer the question directly, no, Lloyds Bank is not a U.S. bank. It is, in fact, a British bank with a long and rich history rooted firmly in the United Kingdom. Its origins can be traced all the way back to 1765 in Birmingham, England. Over the centuries, Lloyds has grown to become one of the UK's Big Four banks, a cornerstone of the British financial landscape. So, where does the potential confusion come from? Several factors could contribute. Firstly, as mentioned earlier, the global nature of finance means many large banks have international operations. While Lloyds Banking Group, the parent company of Lloyds Bank, does have a presence in various international markets, including some operations in the United States, these are typically focused on specific areas like commercial banking or investment services rather than retail banking for individual consumers. These international branches or subsidiaries operate under different regulatory frameworks than U.S. banks and are not part of the core U.S. banking system. Secondly, the name itself might sound somewhat generic to an American ear. Unlike some banks with distinctly American-sounding names or regional affiliations, Lloyds Bank doesn't immediately scream British institution. This neutrality could lead to assumptions based on familiarity with other large, international financial players that do have significant U.S. retail operations. Thirdly, the interconnectedness of the global economy means that events affecting Lloyds Bank in the UK can certainly have ripple effects in the US and vice versa. Financial news often covers international banking developments, and the performance of major global banks like Lloyds is of interest to investors and analysts worldwide. This constant presence in the global financial conversation might create an impression of a more direct operational link to the US than actually exists. It's important to understand the distinction between a bank headquartered and primarily operating in a specific country and its international subsidiaries or branches. While a British citizen living in the US might be able to access some Lloyds Bank services through their international offerings, they wouldn't be using a US bank account. Similarly, a U.S. citizen banking with a major American institution wouldn't typically interact directly with Lloyds Bank for their everyday banking needs within the United States. Think of it like this: many American companies have a presence in the UK, but that doesn't make them British companies. The same principle applies to banks. Lloyds Bank's primary regulatory oversight comes from the UK's financial authorities, and its core business is centered on serving the UK market. So, the next time you hear the name Lloyds Bank, remember its strong British heritage and its position as a key player in the UK financial system. While it operates in the global financial landscape, its roots and primary operations remain firmly across the Atlantic. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.